Captain Steve, and this is our first weekly program where we share with you information on the boats we're testing, new products, and important boating news. Brought to you this week by Boat Test Leasing, making boating affordable for everyone. Check out the company's website at BoatTEST.com. Of course, there's nothing more important than everyone staying safe during the COVID-19 crisis. As state and local governments get their feet on the ground with the stay-in-place orders, more and more people realize that boating is an ideal way to escape the confines of their house or apartment and still stay safe. Social distancing at its best. But follow the rules. So far, it's one of the few things open to the public in many states. Only boat with those in your immediate household. No beaching your boat right next to someone else. Maintain your distance at the fuel dock and wash your hands. No rafting up. Keep your distance. No guests on your boat that aren't in your immediate household. And go right from your house to the boat and back. These boating social distancing rules are courtesy of SeaTow, a reliable 24/7 emergency boating service that's available nationwide. Different states are handling the stay-at-home orders differently, which can greatly affect boating. Let's take a quick look at what's going on around the country. There are more registered boats in Florida than any other state, and from Jacksonville we have this newscast.
Well, Florida Fish and Wildlife is requiring boaters to stay 50 feet apart, and they can't have any more than 10 people on board. As one group leaves, another gets ready to hit the water from the St. Johns River Marina boat ramp.
Well, there's not a lot of other things to do, so we figure we get out on the water and keep our social distancing on the river.
I think it's awesome because it gives us an opportunity to get out and get in some fresh air and some sunshine and still be able to maintain the appropriate protocols.
The Detroit News reports that at first the state police spokesman said boating was not allowed, but a few hours later, DNR spokesman John Pepin said boating is still allowed under Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home order.
While the weather is bringing out boatloads of boaters, this Michigan spring is not normal.
Just trying to keep our distance, and stay safe.
There was confusion about boating under the stay-home order, but Governor Whitmer's office clarified boating is allowed only using your own equipment and only with members of your household.
That's important news because Michigan ranks number 3 in the nation in terms of boat registrations with nearly 800,000. In Tennessee, which ranks 18th in the country with 239,000 boat registrations, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency reports that all TWRA ramps are open at this time. The Tennessee Valley Authority, which is under federal authority, has closed some ramps due to large numbers congregating in the area. Again, we stress, follow the rules. If you don't, we all suffer. For example, Maryland seems to have taken a scorched earth policy, and Governor Hogan has banned recreational boating altogether, effectively grounding the state's more than 170,000 boats, including shutting down what is arguably one of the best boating areas in the country, the Chesapeake Bay. While DNR officers are enforcing this ban, several grassroots efforts are still trying to instill some common sense in the governor's office, and BoatTEST.com is joining that effort. As of this weekend, 2 petitions have garnered over 16,000 signatures and climbing. BoatTest's reason for being is to test, inspect, and inform the boat buying public about new boats. So each week we'll be highlighting some of our recent tests with a short peek and a quick video clip. Our first boat will be the Riviera Belize 66, which has amazing handling and a boutique level of fit and finish. This one offers 2 operating stations, one down below and the other one in this sky bridge. This upper operating station has a lot to like. This is equipped with joystick steering so I can control the boat from this relaxed position. And speaking of comfort, look at these seats. They're from Celto. The helm seat is electrically controlled up, down, fore and aft, and recline. The platform comes out 5 feet 8 inches from the transom. It's hydraulically actuated, so we can use it as a private beach or launch a tender from the garage just ahead. I like how the galley is centrally located between the 2 main deck social areas, the aft cockpit and the forward salon, and we can further blend the 2 together by opening up this large window. Now let's go from a multi-million-dollar motor yacht to a boat more of us can afford, the newly designed 236 Mako Center Console fishing boat. She's been completely redesigned from the hull up. Now let's take a look at the helm, a 9-inch Garmin display, 2 SmartCraft displays, and the digital throttle and shift. Something that's standard on this boat that I really like, the C-Zone switching system. The hardtop is optional, standard is a canvas T-top. The helm seat is double wide, includes flip-up bolsters, and underneath a flip-down footrest. And look at this, 4 rod holders at the back of the post, 5 at the trailing edge with 2 more to the outsides. In both corners of the transom, 22-gallon live wells. There's a new dayboat style that's becoming popular in Europe, which features a plumb bow and an open transom. And now a division of Mastercraft is building this concept in the US. Take a quick look at the Aviara 36.
When it came time to put the hammer down, she went from 0 to 20 in 5.1 seconds, 30 in 6.9 seconds, and 40 came and went in 10.5 seconds. Plane was reached at 3,600 RPM in 4.2 seconds while moving 25 miles per hour. The port companion seat converts to an aft-facing chaise. The main seating area is configured in an L shape. The gourmet galley is a must aboard the AV36, we feel. It comes in a 1 or 2 grill option. Aviara combined aesthetics with a functional design when considering the reinforced aluminum hardtop with the AV36. And we have to say the overall ergonomics had us feeling as if we're driving a familiar automobile rather than an unfamiliar boat.
Now on to viewer mail. First, we were sent 2 examples of social distancing at its finest. First, this photo from John Christensen showing excellent separation while beached at Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. And not to be outdone is this Sea Ray 270 Sundancer owned by Paul Strubb from Y Heritage Marina in Midland, Ontario, with an appropriate name. Brian Presser from West Seattle writes, "Love watching all the videos, thank you." Well, thank you, Brian. "We have an old Bayliner Sierra 245, a 25-foot cabin cruiser. Love it, but it's no longer in production. I'd love to see new boats on the market with cabins in this size range." Well, Brian, unfortunately, a lot of builders of this type have either gone out of business or changed focus, such as Bayliner, and they no longer build boats of this type, but others still have them. Regal makes several we reviewed, such as the 26XO or the 33 SAV. Boston Whaler has its 285 Conquest. Beneteau has recently introduced its Antares series with the Antares 23 and 27, both of which are outboard powered. Its sister company, Jeanneau, recently introduced the even more affordable 21-foot NC695 Series 2 and the 26-foot NC795 Weekender. So, not to worry, Brian, the boats are still out there and we're still reviewing them. John Holler from Marietta, Georgia writes, "Do you see the true walkaround being replaced by the dual console? Seems to be the trend." Yes. Actually, this has been the trend for the last 5 years, and now there are only a few walkarounds. Grady White has 4 different models in this category: the Adventure 208, the Seafarer 228, the Gulfstream 232, and the Marlin 300. SAILFISH has their 220 and 279 WAC, and then SAILFISH ups the game with their 320, which morphs a walkaround into an express. Boston Whaler takes that a step further with their 315 and 345 Conquest Pilot House models. Personally, I like the concept for offshore fishing because the bow is decked over and therefore the boats are much more seaworthy. I wouldn't be surprised to see a reversal of this trend as the current pandemic has boaters seeking a safe place to spend the weekend with the family. Mario Ricano, hailing from Astoria, New York, writes, "Any tricks to finding best cruise if you don't have fuel flow meters and such? I have a 2005 Chaparral Signature 310. Well, sure. The answer is the slowest you can go and still stay firmly on plane. Now that's a rule of thumb, and it's most often between 3,000 and 3,500 RPM. We tested a sister ship of your Chaparral 310 in 2013. Let's take a look and see where her best cruise was.
With a pair of 225 horsepower Mercury 4.3-liter MPI engines and Bravo 3 outdrives, turning 22.5-inch props, we reached a top speed at 4,900 RPM of 43.6 miles per hour. At that speed, fuel burn was 33.3 gallons per hour, giving us a range of 139 miles. Best cruise came in at 3,500 RPM and 28.5 miles per hour. That reduced the fuel burn to 18.3 gallons per hour, which the 310 Signature could keep up for 5 hours and 48 minutes and 165 miles while still maintaining a 10% reserve.
If you have any questions about boats or boating, please email them to me at questions@BoatTEST.com and I'll try to answer them in our next program. Today we're being sponsored by BoatTest's new sister company, BoatTest Leasing. BoatTest Reports is wide open to commercial sponsorship, so anyone who has a product or service they would like to expose to our audience, reach out to BoatTest Reports executive producer, Kieran Conity. That wraps up our first episode of BoatTest Reports. We're all entering a new world, and that includes a new world for boats and boating. Join us for the ride as we explore all of the new trends, boats, and new ways to enjoy our favorite sport. Keep social distancing and stay safe. For Boat Test, I'm Captain Steve. Until the next time, we'll see you on the water at a distance.